and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course,
All
Bob.
right, this is Brad's quote speaking here now.
Okay.
Quotes. Why I quit karate, Taekwondo after 17 years and how it changed my life. Wow, Brad.
Yeah. Well, Bob, you know, the mission statement of our channel is how to stay healthy, fit, and pain-free. And the activity, the adventure of joining a martial arts club or program, does it fit into our mission statement?
Well, I think it does.
And we're going to talk about this, but why would I quit if it does? And that's, this whole thing is going to explain it, explain my background and how I got into this therapy and fitness and trying to share it with other people. And I wanted to get people,
It played a big role in your life.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, and if there's other people out there who are thinking, boy, are my children good for them? Yeah, right. Or is it for me? Or maybe I'm too old for that kind of activity. All those questions will be answered.
All right. By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, as Brad said. And we upload every day. Also, if you go to bobandbrad.com, our website, go to the giveaway section. We're always giving something away. That's a bonus there.
There you go.
We're giving away some of the suspension straps today. You know the suspension workouts?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are awesome. They work on your core and everything. You can find the contest also pinned to the top of the page on Facebook. Go to Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok if you want a 60-second version of our program. And you might be listening to this right now on a podcast.
Exactly.
We just decided to go ahead and throw that in there. Why not?
Sure. Absolutely, Bob.
So, Brad, what can I ask, how old were you when you started the karate?
Well, I'm 57 now.
Martial arts. Now, we got to...
Well, that's a good point.
Well, at one point, you got to specify what you
I started the school I went to was called American Taekwondo.
Okay.
Or American Karate. And in America, some schools take the traditional names away and put an American name in there.
Sure.
And I'm not going to get into that, but you know, actually, it was American Taekwondo is what I studied, and then I also studied some Aikido for a few.
I was going to say, I know you did Aikido,
which is a Japanese form. Taekwondo is a Korean form, and that.
Which one did you do first, or at the same time?
Taekwondo.
Okay.
American Taekwondo. They introduced some boxing style into it versus their traditional, which we're not going to get into.
Aikido is not a lot of holds and stuff like that.
Well, Aikido is a soft form.
Yeah, and learning to fall.
Yeah, you don't really learn the hard punches and the hard kicks. It's a soft form. You work with the energy of the opponent. It's a completely different philosophy.
Yeah, I got a friend that's heavily into that right now. So
yeah, at the time I was 22 years old. It was 25 years ago, I guess. Or was it 35? 35 years
105
ago. Yeah, might as well be. But at the time, running was boring to me. Everything I do now actually was kind of boring to me at the time.
Right. It's just like I remember when I was that age, I was like, and someone mentioned golf. I'm like, what are you kidding me? You think I'm 100 years old?
I'll do that when I get older.
And I did. You know, I love it now. And now it's my life.
Right. So anyways, I went to I just looked in the yellow pages. At the time, there was no internet. And I saw, you know, karate or martial arts. I'll go to there. So I called them up and I went there and just started there and continued. And for another 17 years, I was kind of, married to it. I really enjoyed it. Not obsessed, but it was a very
good, healthy obsession.
It was, yeah. I mean,
you know, Brad, I remember this very clearly. Like when I was in my teen years and early 20s, like people that knew karate and studied karate or martial arts, they were very cool to us. You know, I mean, seriously, like I remember one guy came to the neighborhood and he had the nunchucks and he had,
Was he doing them out in public?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big no-no.
I think it was.
If you're in our school, you could not do that in public unless it was a formal demonstration.
It didn't strike me that, I mean, I don't find that unusual because he was kind of that person that he was definitely seeking the limelight.
You do not show off your skills in public.
He was using it to get women. He was using it. I mean, but I just, again, there's that, when you're the teenage boy or early, I mean, it's a real cool factor. I mean,
the whole idea of respect in martial arts is like this. And that would not be showing your art any respect. It would be flaunting it. No, no, no. That's not good. And that's one of the benefits that you can learn. So if you're children or you want to get into martial arts and you go to a school, you will know very quickly if the instructor, if the philosophy of the teaching of that school is going to fit what you want to learn or what you want your kids to learn.
So you don't want them tell them to sweep the leg, huh?
Right. Oh, yeah. That, you know,
Karate Kid movie.
Yeah. Sometimes Hollywood, not sometimes Hollywood, oftentimes depicts a portrayal of karate as this
kick-ass.
Yeah, exactly. Claude Van Chamdam, whatever his name is. He's very talented, but you know, you're not going to go out there and kick your classmates. If you do, you're out of the school.
Sure.
That's the way we were. So anyways, I went into it not for self-defense. I wanted that social activity and physical activity, and that's what I found. I ran into people from all walks of life. Doctors, lawyers, people who worked in the trades like I did at the time.
What was the older age? What was the upper end of the age, would you say?
I taught a 72-year-old.
Did you really?
Yeah, that was the oldest student. The youngest student I had was 4. Because I started teaching after I was into karate. My 3rd year as a red belt, I just started introductory classes. When I got to be my black belt after 4 years into it, I started teaching on a regular basis.
And so what was your highest level?
2nd degree.
2nd degree.
Right. I could have went for a 3rd degree, and I didn't take the time to do it. But, you know, I had enough time in
I was going to say 2nd degree is pretty awesome already. You know, I had a friend that got into this, and he was doing pretty well. He was in his 40s, and he said the same thing. They had one lady in his class that she was in her 60s.
Sure.
And, you know, first she started off and she didn't have the flexibility, but, you know, after months and months, it just started coming. Right. You know, it's just, it was pretty amazing.
And you get to know these people. Now, our school was all ages. There would be classes where, you know, 5 years old, we'd start people.
Sure.
Up to whatever. And some classes would be just adults, some would be just kids, and then we mixed them at times too. So it worked out well. Obviously, you're teaching children different. You're talking to them about respect. You're talking to them about focus, behavior. You're not teaching that to the adults.
Sorry, I have to laugh because I just keep thinking of this scene.
Focus, Bob. Focus.
Well, no, I'm laughing because if you ever watched Seinfeld, there was an episode where Kramer went to karate,
sure.
and he was with little kids, and he's kicking their butt. And so at the end of the show, these kids get him in the alley, and they beat the crap out of him. All the kids get together, but he's beating like 5-year-olds.
Sure,
he's proud of it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. That's another wonderful,
by the way, I did
wonderful Hollywood
Brad,
depiction.
Just something to mention right now. Brad did write a book, by the way. You did this quite a few years ago.
When I was in physical therapy school, because that's how I got into. One of the reasons I got into physical therapy, because with karate, and I do want to mention this, I was having back problems. I was working a physical job, doing a lot of heavy lifting, had back problems. I was going to the chiropractor on a regular basis. And I had a great chiropractor because she said, well, do anything that, you know, any activity that makes you feel better. Karate made me feel better consistently. The stretching, the range of motion. Now I understand it. Back then I didn't. I just know I didn't have to go to the chiropractor. Less money for me. I didn't want to go anyways.
Yeah, and good form too, right? I mean, in karate. I mean, they're emphasizing good form.
Right. Actually, some of the stretches we used to do, I would say,
maybe not
back
so
off. But one way or another, I came out feeling better. I didn't have to go to the chiropractor. And actually, I just quit going after a while.
So you kind of combined your knowledge from 2 areas, from physical therapy and from martial arts. Right. And that's why you did this book, right?
Right, because I didn't go back to school until after as a black belt.
Now, this book is only available on Kindle, right?
Right. It's a Kindle. We don't have paper.
So it's called Martial Arts Manual. We'll have a link below. Martial Arts Manual for Stretching, Strengthening, and Treatment of Common Injuries. So it's by Brad Heineck, Heineck.
Right. So I took my therapy knowledge and applied it to the existing exercises and the training of martial arts. And if you're an instructor, it's great read because you're going to be a better instructor because you're going to understand the biomechanics, the muscles, how to treat a muscle pull, how to treat if someone got a bump on the head, what do you watch for? If you're a beginner, if you want to get your front kicks higher, I go through which specific stretches stretch which specific muscles so that you can get your front kick. instead of waist level to head level.
I would like it right now so I could go from knee level to the waist level.
It doesn't matter where you are, and that's
where
the
you
beauty.
start.
That's the beauty of the martial arts is if you got a good instructor or a good school, they'll take you from whatever level you're at and take you from there.
Your
and
competition is your baseline.
Right.
Yeah.
Your next goal. And that's what the beauty of martial arts is, the belt color. You start out with a white belt, and our system, different systems are different. We went from white to gold. Actually, now they added stripes at that school, which we didn't have when I was there. And you work, so there's always goal, very goal-oriented, which can carry over into your life. And that's what we did with children. This is your next goal. You know, in school, you want to get to your next grade or your next, you know, that spelling test. And everything works together.
It's amazing how that motivates you. I mean, at any point in life, but I remember my parents would give us a nickel for B's and a dime for A's.
Oh, sure.
And I worked my butt off just to get, you know, you wanted approval too. Can I read this or not?
No.
Okay.
No, that was given to.
Well, I thought you might want to say, well,
Bob, don't read it.
I won't read it, but you're just saying it might be useful with your children someday.
It is. It's a personal note to my stepson.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I got it.
So it would be okay, but it would be best.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying. You were dedicating this to help. That it would hopefully help somebody's children someday.
Right, exactly. So it'd be okay to read, but it's confidential. So going on with it, so for 17 years, I'd go to work, I would do this, practice karate, and finally I started to meet some university teachers that taught at UW La Crosse. And I realized, you know, these people are just normal, they're PhD, but I talk to them just like I talk to anybody. And, you know, I thought, you know, I really want to know why karate helps my body. And here I'm talking to these university teachers. They said, why don't I go to school to become a physical therapist? And I thought 10 years ago, I would not have even considered it. I didn't have the confidence to go back to college. Academics is not my strong point. But after building myself up and getting my black belt, my second degree.
Gave me the confidence.
And learning,
and meeting
these people. All of a sudden, why don't I? So I did. It's like if I did not have this experience for martial arts training, I wouldn't be a therapist.
How old were you, Brad, at that time?
I was 29 years old my freshman year in college.
Right. Listen to this. I'm going to make this statement.
Okay.
This is a compliment to you because physical therapy school is very, very difficult. And it's difficult. And I can tell you, we had people that, I was at kind of the prime of my life as far as memory.
Academically.
Academically. And we had a guy in our class that was 30 years old. And you were older by the time you got into PT school, right?
Right. I was 33 or
yeah. Amazing. Because we had a guy that was 30. He had his PhD in a different topic.
Sure.
And he goes, I just struggle. He goes, these kids remember things so fast.
Yes.
So by 30, things are starting to slow down already. And I mean, Brad, really kudos to you. I mean, to go to school, start that late, and then get through physical therapy school, which is really, really difficult. I'm not trying to enhance it because we're therapists, but it is tough.
Well, because, they take your GPA.
Right.
You got to have a very high GPA
to get
just to apply.
Right.
And then you got to get accepted. But one way or another, I lucked out on that because of ignorance. I did not know that it was difficult.
That difficult.
I just thought then I realized, I got to get good grades. Well, I never took any college prep classes in high school.
Happened to me too.
But I just, I did tutors. I did everything I needed to get the grades. And I don't know, things just fell into place. It was kind of a little godsend.
Amazing.
Big godsend,
I mean, really amazing.
So
it kind of, this karate led to that.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt, without the karate, I would have never... With the exception of my brother, a nurse, he did give me encouragement to become a PT. He said, well, they got good hours, better hours than what you're working now. But that's all he said.
Sure.
He really didn't care. Well, he did. But.
Well, he had some academics behind him too, obviously, so he could...
Well, he was less academic than I was coming out of high school.
But was he...
He was a C student.
Was he a nurse already at that point?
Yeah, he was registered. So I knew if he could do it, I could do it.
Right.
So that's another little boost. That's not...
Amazing how life that works quite often for me too. Like I'd see other, well, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And now people are looking at go, Well, those two can do it.
Yeah.
Well, I can get into physical
Right.
therapy school.
So if we can get a YouTube channel going,
Yeah,
anybody
get our
can get a
YouTube
YouTube channel going. So the big question after all that, and
After
at that
15
point,
minutes, why did you quit now?
yeah, why did I quit this wonderful activity?
Yeah.
Very simple. From the title, I had to go through all that blah, blah, blah. And what happened was I graduated from PT school, and this all happened within a year.
Sure.
I got a job, I got married, and my daughter came along.
Sure.
And when you're if you want to do karate, you have to go to scheduled classes after work. I just did not,
It's a fairly intensive time commitment, isn't it, Brad?
It is.
What do you say at a minimum per week?
Well, you should go at least 3 times a week. And you can go 2 times a week and maybe maintain.
And that's how long a time then each time? I mean,
well, about an hour.
Hour each session.
But then you talk to your friends afterwards, and there's a social part. It just did not fit. I needed time with my family. I needed time with work.
The priorities change,
right?
I think,
So, absolutely. But I've had people like, as a matter of fact, a doctor who helped me get into PT school just through encouragement. He and his 2 children actually were in karate, and I was their instructors. He also gave me a lot of encouragement for PT school. Just another little thing that
and encouragement is great, but I'm telling you, you did the work. So
yeah. So yeah, that's why I quit, and it's always with me. And I think I might even do an introductory class here. We'll see how the feedback is.
Well, I think that it's amazing the muscle memory you have, and even I know you always complain about your kicks, but your kicks are way higher than mine.
I'm afraid I'll pull a hamstring now.
Right. So
very good. That answers the question. Yes,
interesting story.
So
thanks for sharing.
You better believe it.
Enjoy,
and if you're going to join karate, make sure you check out the school. You love the instructors, and it'll come right back at you.
There we go.